Hey ho, it's Marc Shannon with Fantasy Knockout Fantasy Football Show. Today is Friday, July 7th. You can follow the show on social media at Fantasy Knockout. Make sure to subscribe, whatever your platform you're listening or watching on. Let's get that goal of 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. I'm excited for today's show. I'm going to be breaking down the NFC South. Have you guys signed up to become that Knockout member? If you do, you'll get access to overall and flex rankings, draft cheat sheets, trade chart, and priority questions and answers. If you're interested, I'm going to be starting up a listener league this year. So head over to the website, fantasyknockout.com, click a link below, and submit your entry there. Did you guys all have a safe holiday? We did. The family did. Had fun the best we could. Had some sick kids over that holiday. It was not fun. Son was dealing with an earache. My daughter got super dehydrated. But we made the best of it, and boy did the neighborhood not let down, man. They had a great fireworks show on their own. So it was a safe holiday, fun holiday, one of my favorite holidays. Guess what, guys? This show is now going to be 2 shows a week, so we are going to ramp up the season, get it going. So every Tuesday and Friday we'll be having shows. So make sure to hit those notifications so you don't miss an episode. Let's catch up on the latest NFL news.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the news.
News with views. All right, so wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, he's a free agent. The Patriots are still pursuing Hopkins. So questions of the Patriots still wanting Hopkins came up after an extension of wide receiver Devontae Parker. He got a 3-year, $33 million deal, which is more than half. Half of that is tied to incentives. It's not guaranteed. So it still means that the Patriots have plenty of money to sign Hopkins if he wants to go there. And then running back Joe Mixon out of Cincinnati. Both sides still want resolution. I think Mixon needs to agree on a pay cut to retain his roster spot. But what's not clear right now is how much are the Bengals asking him to reduce his salary. So we'll have to see if he wants to stay there. I think he stays there. I think they work it out. So then running back Dalvin Cook, he's a free agency. The New York Jets, they've done their homework and they have more interest than most realize is what's going on or what's being quoted and reported there with Dalvin. There have been several other teams looking into Dalvin, but the Jets keep coming up as the main team for the reports. I know like a lot of people are thinking Miami possibly. So I'm curious if Aaron Rodgers just does not trust Breece Hall's ACL recovery and maybe he wants somebody a little bit more reliable there in New York. Right? We'll see.
Main event.
All right, the main event, the NFC South breakdown. Real quick disclaimer, these are going to be my projections, not necessarily what I think is going to happen, but pretty much the typical outcome for most of these players. Yes, there will always be outliers, and some of these players can overproduce, and some of them can underperform. So, also, if there's any news of injuries, I will make adjustments to the player projections going forward. So, if Dalvin Cook signs with one of these teams, yes, that's going to skew a bunch of the stuff going on. But as of now, how things sit, how the roster breakdown goes down, this is what it looks like. So we'll do it alphabetically. Atlanta Falcons are the first team up. Last year, they were 7-10. Their win total projection for this year is 8, so it's up a little bit. Desmond Ridder, I have slotted as the quarterback there. Right now, his ADP is undrafted. He's not, in my opinion, relevant for fantasy. I got him projected for 13 games, 2,800 yards, 15 touchdowns, 7.5 interceptions, and about rushing for 147 yards and a touchdown. And then the main guy there is going to be the running back, Bijan Robinson. His ADP is right now is about the second. No, he's going 110. First round, about the 10th pick or so. He's going to be a stud. I think he's going to be the next Derrick Henry. I got him slotted for 15 games, 1,234 yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, 47 receptions, 365 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. And then you got the backup is Tyler Algier. He's going in the 7th round at 706. Got him for 14 games, 617 yards, 3 touchdowns, 12 receptions, 105 receiving yards, and no receiving touchdowns. And then the main receiver there is going to be Drake London. His ADP is 7th round, first pick. So he's going later. I like him a lot. I was high on him as a rookie. I like Drake London this year a lot. I'm going to be trying to snag him up everywhere I can. 6th round, 7th round. Slotted him for 15 games, 85 receptions for 1,051 yards and 6 receiving touchdowns. And then the other receiver there, tight end receiver, is Kyle Pitts. If you've had Kyle on your team the last 2 years, you probably hate him. If you have not been burnt by him, you are probably intrigued this year. I think this is the year where you can get a value on Pitts. Right now he's going in the 5th round, so that's a lot better than last year where I think he was in the 3rd round. I got him projected for 15 games, 69 receptions, 928 yards, and 6 touchdowns. All right, the Carolina Panthers are next. So last year they were 7-10 as well, and their win total this year is going to be at 7.5. I don't think they'll quite get there this year. I would bet on the under there. Their quarterback is going to be the rookie, Bryce Young. Right now he's going undrafted in leagues. Got him slotted for 15 games, 3,370 yards, 17 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 186 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. I don't see him being fantasy relevant. He might have a game or two. He'll probably be a streamable option probably later the second half of the season. The running backs there are going to be Miles Sanders and Chuba Hubbard. Sanders is going in the 4th round at 412. Got him slotted for 14 games, 1,290 yards rushing, 7 rushing touchdowns, 37 receptions, 241 yards receiving, and 1 receiving touchdown. Hubbard, he's going in the 13th round at 1309. He got him slotted for 14 games, 501 yards, 2 touchdowns, 21 receptions, 188 yards, and another receiving touchdown. Sanders is the guy there. I like Sanders this year. I think he'd be a solid RB2 for your team. He'll have production. He's not going to be explosive or win you a league or anything like that. But if you go receiver early, he'd be a nice running back to have on your team that'll just be a steady force at the running back position. Now we got several receivers there in Carolina, and it's going to be a toss-up. I think Adam Thielen's probably going to emerge as the main guy. You also have DJ Chark and Jonathan Mingo, the rookie. Thielen's going in the 11th round at 1101. I have Thielen slotted for 14 games, 66 receptions, 677 receiving yards, and 4 touchdowns. Nothing fancy there. Typically, rookie quarterbacks cannot support, a wide receiver. I think the receivers don't get in the top 36 or something like that. So, not looking to get one of these receivers on my team this year. Chark is going undrafted. I got him slotted for 14 games, 47 receptions, 683 yards, 4 touchdowns. Flex worthy occasionally. Mingo, the rookie, we got him for 15 games, 56 receptions, 734 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then the tight end there is Hayden Hurst. He's going undrafted as well. 15 games, 53 receptions, 541 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Gonna probably pass on most of those guys. I think the only one there from the Panthers I'm looking forward to possibly drafting is Miles Sanders. All right, next is the New Orleans Saints. Last year they were 7-10 as well. Their win total this year is at 9.5. I think they can get there. I think they could beat that. They could get 10 wins easily. They got newly addition quarterback Derek Carr. Right now his ADP is in the 12th round. Probably passing on him myself. Not going to be taking that chance on him. Flex, actually not flex. Streamable option probably during the year occasionally. I got him slotted for 16 games, 3,891 yards, 24 passing touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and rushing for 91 yards and a 1 touchdown. Next are going to be the running backs. That's Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams. Kamara's going in the 5th round. Jamal's going in the 7th round. I got Kamara with the suspension. I got him slotted with 11 games, 625 yards, 3 touchdowns, 37 receptions, 312 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. If Kamara's there at a value past that 5th round, I could see you guys taking him. I'd be okay with you guys taking him. But typically, I don't want to take players that are suspended and just clog your bench. It's not worth it typically. I'd let somebody else draft him and maybe try to trade for him after 2 or 3 weeks if he's got like a 6-game suspension. Try to reduce your shares of Kamara this year. And then Jamal Williams, he'll get the nod probably to start the year. He's going in the 7th round. I would like to have him on my bench, not really trust him to start in my starting roster. I got him slotted for 14 games, 614 yards, 5 touchdowns, 18 receptions for 135 yards. The one player I do want from this team is going to be wide receiver Chris Olave. He is probably going to be one of my guys this year. The receivers there are Olave and Michael Thomas. Olave is going in the 4th round at 409. I think that's a steal. I'd be willing to take him in the 3rd round. But Olave, I got him slotted for 15 games, 87 receptions, 1,194 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He could easily blow that out of the water. I could see him maybe pushing 1,400 yards. I could see him doing double-digit touchdowns as well. Michael Thomas, he's going in the 10th round right now. Got him slotted for 13 games, 77 receptions, 839 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And then the tight ends there, we have Juan Johnson, who's going undrafted. I would like him. I don't mind him as a late round tight end this year as an option if you pass, if you punt that on the draft completely. Juan will have his days there. I got him projected 15 games, 46 receptions, 550 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And then Taysom Hill, he's going in the 13th round. He's got that rushing ability that I don't think they're going to shy away from. I think what we saw last year will be more of what we see this year with Taysom Hill. And he has that chance to get multiple touchdowns in a game. Got him slotted for 15 games, 369 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 8 receptions for 72 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. And then last is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last year they were 8-9. The win total projection from Vegas is 6.5. I see them going under that. I don't trust this team that much. There's only maybe one player I'm looking to draft this year. But we're going to start off with the quarterback, is Baker Mayfield. He's going undrafted. I'm not touching him this year. Got him slotted for 14 games, 3,400 yards, 19 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Rushing for 108 yards and a touchdown. Pass. Not interested in Baker this year. He's got to prove it to me before I would even roster him. The running back there is going to be Rachaad White. He's going in the 6th round at 6'11". Got him slotted for 15 games, 906 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 48 receptions for 284 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. I'm good with White. I like him. He'll have plenty of protection. The problem is he's not going to be on a high-scoring offense, and the team's going to be playing from behind most likely, so his receptions will be there, but I just don't know if he'll get enough workload to be a starting running back on your team that you want to go. The receivers there are going to be Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I'm okay with taking either one of those guys in those later rounds. Evans is going in the 5th at 505. Got him slotted for 15 games, 71 receptions for 1,028 yards, another 1,000-yard season I have projected for Evans, but only 6 touchdowns. And then Chris Godwin, he's going late 4th round at 411. 14 games, 88 receptions for 993 yards and 5 touchdowns. I'm slotting for half-point projections. Godwin would be a nice PPR option if you need it. And then the tight end there is going to be Cade Otton. He's going undrafted, not looking for him. Got him slotted for 15 games, 43 receptions, 399 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. The next show we're going to do is the NFC North breakdown. Thank you for listening to the show. Make sure to subscribe. Whatever platform you're on, please leave that rating and review. Really helps me out. All right. Till next time. See ya.